Hi and Assalamualaikum. Today me and my partner Alia Anisha will be presenting a movie review on a horror thriller film titled Evil Dead Rise. We will be sharing the movie's plot, characters, settings, values, and of course our personal thoughts on it. So let's get started, shall we?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alia Anisha binti Taha. I'm from class 2G. For this presentation, we have chosen to talk about a horror film that has captured the attention of many fans, Evil Dead Rise. This movie is a part of the legendary Evil Dead franchise, but with a completely new setting, new character, and a modern storyline that still carries the spirit of the original. Released in 2023 and directed by Lynn Corin, Evil Dead Rise bring horror out of the woods and into an urban environment, specifically a rundown apartment building in Los Angeles, which a friends take on a dynamic positions, shocking scenes and emotional family struggle. The film delivers a thrilling yet meaningful experience. Throughout this presentation, we will be exploring its cast and character, unique setting, instant plot, important value, and what makes it stand out, both in a good and not so good. The next trailer we will be presenting is Evil Dead Rise, a terrifying continuation of the Evil Dead franchise that takes horror to be a new level. Set in a crime city apartment, this film turns off ordinary home into the living nightmares.
Here's what she said to me. Open up now.
You don't look so good, Mom.
Nothing a big old kiss from you won't fix.
I'm getting us out of here. I promise.
You'd be a good mom someday, honey bath.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know how to lie to kids.
Next, this movie has a four genres: horror, supernatural, gore, and thriller. It shows scary scenes, ghosts, the demon stuff, bloody violence, and tense moments that keep us nervous for beginning. Then the production details: Evil Dead Rise was written and directed by Lynn Corin, which Rob Tapper has a main producer under Ghost House Pictures. Executed products include horror legend Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. The movie was filmed in Auckland, New Zealand from June to October 2021, using over 1,500 liters of fake blood, with a budget of around 15 to 19 million US dollars. It earned a box office total of 146 million worldwide. Now, let's see what the story is about in Evil Dead Rise. Here the full synopsis of the film. Evil Dead Rise tells the story of Beth, a young woman who visits her sister Ellie, a single mother living with her 3 children in the random Los Angeles apartment. The reunion is suddenly described when the knee one of Ellie's children describes the cruise Necronomicon hidden in the building. Upon reading from it, the trying demonic force is building with a no escape and is forced into a brutal battle to protect her nieces and nephew, confronting her worst fear and fighting for their survival against the growing evil that threatens to consume them all. Then I will now hand over the presentation to my teammate Christina Balkis.
Hi, I'm Christina Balkis from class 3G. So now I'll be introducing the main characters along with the actors who brought them to life. Now let's move on to one of the most important parts of any movie, the cast and the characters in Evil Dead Rise. Although the cast is relatively small, each character plays a huge role in shaping the story and making the horror feel real and intense. The film focuses on a single family, and through them we experience fear, love, scary vibe, and survival. Every actor gives a strong performance that brings the character to life in a memorable way. So let's take a closer look at who they are and the roles they play in the film. Lily Zuleva as Beth, the protagonist, Ellie's younger sisters. Alyssa Sutherland as Ellie, the mother who gets possessed. Morgan Device as Danny, Ellie's teenage son. Gabriel Echoes as Bridget, Ellie's daughter. Neil Fishers as Cassie, Ellie's youngest daughter. Richard Crookley, Murabi Piss, characters in the cabin scene. Now let's talk about the setting of Evil Dead Rise, which plays a very important role in creating the overall atmosphere and tone of the movie. Unlike the original Evil Dead films that usually take place in a forest cabin, this time the story moves to a much more urban environment, an old broken down apartment building in downtown, which is in Los Angeles. This change of setting brings a fresh twist to the franchise. It makes the environment feel more closed off, claustrophobic, and intense, which adds even more tension for the characters who are trying to survive. The apartment itself becoming part of the horror, making it feel like there is no way out. The film does open with a short lakeside cabin scene as a little tribute to the original films, but that these main events happen in the apartment. Most of the scenes, especially the hallway and rooms, were actually filmed on a custom-built set in a warehouse in Auckland, New Zealand, so the crew could control every detail, especially the scary and the bloody scenes. Besides all the blood, jump scares, and terrifying moments, Evil Dead Rise also explores some deeper values that make the story more meaningful and relatable. Even though it is just a horror film, there are strong emotional themes hidden beneath all the codes, especially about family, courage, and survival. These values help us connect to the characters on a more human level and remind us that love and bravery can still exist even in the darkest situation. Value we can see is the importance of family bonds. Even when things become terrifying, the love between the family members keeps them going. Beth, for example, may have been distant from her sister, but when danger strikes, she steps out without hesitation, and there is courage in fear. Beth stays strong and brave even when everything seems lost, showing how powerful inner strength can be. The story also teaches us that curiosity has concussions. Danny's curiosity leads to the awakening of the evil force, reminding us to think before we act. And finally, the film highlights resilience and protection. Beth puts everything on the line to protect the innocent children, proving that sometimes the most ordinary people become heroes in extreme situations. Besides all the blood, jump scares, and terrifying moments, Evil Dead Rise also explores some deeper values that make the story more meaningful and relatable. Even though it is just a horror film, there are strong emotional themes hidden beneath all the codes, especially about family, courage, and survival. These values help us connect to the characters on a more human level and remind us that love and bravery can still exist even in the darkest situation. Value we can see is the importance of family bonds. Even when things become terrifying, the love between family members keeps them going. Beth, for example, may have been distant from her sister, but when danger strikes, she steps out without hesitation, and there is courage in fear. Beth stays strong and brave even when everything seems lost, showing how powerful inner strength can be. The story also teaches us that curiosity has concussions. Danny's curiosity leads to the awakening of the evil force, reminding us to think before we act. And finally, the film highlights resilience and protection. Beth puts everything on the line to protect the innocent children, proving that sometimes the most ordinary people become heroes in extreme Like any movie, Evil Dead Rise has its strengths and weaknesses. While it delivers a thrilling and horrifying experience, there are still a few aspects that may not work for everyone. It is important to look at the both of positive and the negative so we can better understand what the film does well and where it could have improved. By doing things, we not only enjoy the story but also learn how a different filmmaking elements affect the overall experience of a horror movie. Let us start with the positive. One of the biggest strengths of the film is creativity, camera work, and lighting. These techniques really help put the tension and make the scene feel more scary and suspenseful. The setting is also unique. Instead of the usual forest cabin, the film takes place in a creepy apartment building, which gives the story a fresh twist. And of course, the sound design is powerful, from the creepy silence to the demonic voices and sudden sharp effects. Everything works together to keep the audience on edge. However, the movie is not perfect. One of the downsides is the lack of character development, especially for some of the younger characters who feel a bit flat before the cause start. There are also a few predictable moments which might not be surprise hardcore horror fans. Lastly, the film includes a lot of graphic violence, and for some reason casual viewers, the amount of the gore may be too much to handle. One of the most terrifying and memorable scenes in Evil Dead Rise is when Ellie, after being possessed, stands outside the apartment door and knocks while calling out to her children. The camera focuses through the peephole as she eagerly begs to be let in. Her face is twisted, her voice is no longer human, and the hallway is dead silent except for the chilling words, "Mummy's with the maggots now." This scene builds tension with its use of silence, tight framing, and the horrifying transformation of a mother into something unrecognizable.
Open up and let us in, Cassie. We can be a big, happy family again.
You don't look so good, Mom.
Nothing a big ol' hug and kiss from you won't fix. Open up now, like a good girl. That's it. Come on now.
Do it for Mom and Dad.
In conclusion, Evil Dead Rise is more than just a bloody horror film. It is a modern reimagining of a cult classic with a unique setting, powerful visual, and emotional undertones. The movie shows how love, bravery, and family bonds can still exist even in the middle of chaos and fear. Although it has some flaws like predictable moments and minimal character depth, it still delivers a memorable horror experience with intense atmosphere and disturbing scenes. Whether you are a hardcore horror fan or just someone looking for a terrifying ride, Evil Dead Rise definitely leaves a strong impact, and that is what makes it stand out. Well, that's all from our movie review presentation. We hope you enjoy it and maybe feel curious enough to watch Evil Dead Rise. If you have not already, thank you for your time and attention.